friends? It is Lugo back with um, Flex Appeal. What episode are we on? 36. I started off with front squats. So I did from last week, if you're watching, I said I was going to move these squats. And the only reason I'm squatting on my back day is because I want to get higher frequency because although I'm not like a power lifter anymore, I would say, I do like squatting and I really want a big squat because it's something that has evaded me for a long time. And objectively speaking, my squat was kind of dog shit when I was powerlifting. I squatted like 515 at 250, which is not, to me, is not like great. Objectively, it is a good number, but I was never that good at squatting just because of my anthropometry and just I didn't really attack it with the mindset of being good at squatting. Like I didn't do what good squatters historically would do. And now I feel like I am doing that. Um so I added this day because I don't want to back squat and I kind of want to get some like heavy front squat work because I feel like when my squat has been good, I've been doing heavy front squats. So I added this day like as a low effort, well, high effort day, but like low volume day, so it doesn't overlap with like muscle soreness. But I hit 220 for three, and I'm actually pretty proud of this because I feel like my form was good. My front rack was insanely dead. My elbows and wrists were, especially my wrists, were like dying by this time because this was my last set of working up. But I fought through it. Here's me doing some power cleans, not the most elegant. I was not dropping low enough, and I was definitely hitting my clavicles. But I only did 2 reps because I'm not very good at this. But here's the start of like my actual workout. But I did want to talk about something. I've been trying to have more topics so that it's not just me rambling about training because I feel like it's kind of boring sometimes. But I wanted to talk about diet soda. I did post the diet soda tier list on my TikTok, but I don't want to leave the YouTube people out that don't follow me on TikTok. If you want to, it's going to be in my description. It's kind of just training recaps, and I'm trying to branch out and speak more because I'm trying to get myself out there more. I feel like in the past when I've tried to do fitness things, fitness content, it was just strictly business. Like I'm just talking about training. I'm posting on social media, but it's literally just my training. And to me, it was okay because I am somebody that within the fitness industry, like I don't follow a lot of people on the on in within the fitness industry because I just don't like. I guess I'll put it bluntly, like I just don't care about what people are doing if it's not having to do with training. Like I don't care about the performative fitness content that's not actually fitness, like going into gyms, talking to people, all that, social stuff. And I guess that makes me kind of like a reject, but I just really enjoy hard and heavy training. And if your content is not, revolving around that or something along those lines or similar to that, then I just don't like, I don't care. And it's not because I'm like trying to be a dickhead, I guess. It's just like it genuinely just does not interest me because what I fell in love with was like the Dorian Yates style of training, Ronnie Coleman, those type of bodybuilders and like heavy powerlifters like Dan Green, Stan Efferding, Lily Bridge, fuck, what's his name? Eric Lehman, stuff like that, where it's just hard, heavy lifting, and that's the stuff that I enjoy, and it's still to this day what I enjoy. So I don't really I didn't really put myself out there, but I'm trying more because I feel like for people to truly connect with you, it has to be beyond a level of of just fitness. Like they have to know who I am, and I feel like I've done again like I did very poorly in the past with getting myself and my personality out there and letting people see who I am. And I definitely feel like that has contributed to my lack of success trying to get myself into like the fitness industry, which it's something that I do want to do because I'm very passionate about fitness, and I'm going to be honest, like I'm not naturally good at a lot of things. For me to be good at something, I have to try very much harder than the average person to be good at something. And even then, I feel like I'm just slightly above average or on the average level, especially with my one of my passions, which is video games. I tried so hard to be good at video games and I was just only average or above average. But I feel like for fitness, for me it's different because I feel like genetically like I have a higher propensity for lifting heavy and getting muscle, but I also can stack fat on very easily. But I have a big structure for lifting weights. So I definitely feel like it wasn't easy for me to get into this, but I feel like although I do put my effort into this a lot. Like I don't want to say I didn't try because I tried very hard. Um, but I feel like my effort maybe got me farther than other people, and it wasn't until I did some retrospective looking back that I realized I was actually very good within my few years of training. Like I went from like not lifting 16, I think I was like 15 or 16 when I started. Couldn't bench the Smith bar, which was with a 10 on it, which was 95, and it's easier. Like, and I was overweight. I was like 250. To like slowly progressing, deadlifting, squat, and bench. Couldn't bench a plate until like my the end of my junior year. Maybe it was like the middle of junior year, and then I benched a plate 35 later, and then I plateaued, and then towards the end of my senior year, I was hitting two plates. Deadlift came naturally to me, so by the end of senior year, I was like almost hitting 405. Squat, I actually was pretty good at squatting. I think I hit like 315 ass to grass by like the middle of my senior year. And then fast forward to when I was 19, a little bit before the pandemic, I ended up hitting 515 or like 500. I was benching 315 and then deadlifted 600 for one, 585 for two in the same session. Um, so like, although it isn't like to me, I always looked at it like as not groundbreaking, but that's because I was looking at people that had much greater genetics than I had and that had probably better coaching because I was always somebody that coached myself for the most of the part of my lifting career. And I was like, fuck man, I'm not that good. But I was good. I just was looking at people that were better than me, that had better genetics, that had better information, and being like, fuck, I'm not that good. But in reality, looking back, I definitely was a lot better. There is something to be said about the fact that I kind of ballooned my weight as as a just side effect of me coping about doing powerlifting, and I get to eat whatever I want. Ha ha ha. I could just fucking become a fat bastard, and that's something that I feel like is kind of a trope in powerlifting where you get into powerlifting and you're just like, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want and just become a fat bastard. And it like it works, but you have to be a certain type of person. You should gain it slower as well, but you have to be a certain type of person to just not care. Most people, they're gonna walk it back and then they're going to fall out of love with powerlifting, which kind of happened to me because they're overweight and they don't like how they look. So now coming back to it, I'm going to walk my weight down, and I'm very confident this time around that I'm not going to lose my fitness again because last time I kind of had this like bad habit, and I'm getting into more personal stuff, but of just like leaning away from people when I was feeling a certain way and like feeling burnt out. And I think that now I should and I will lean in, and I've been through this so many times that I kind of feel like I know those indicators of when I'm feeling burnt out and when I'm like pushing myself away. And I think this time I will do better about leaning into people and seeking help when I'm feeling a certain way. Not to get too deep into it, but uh, just for my plan again, like I'm going to get very, very lean, and I hope, well, not I hope, but I will over time. 200 is my goal. around there, maybe like 180. It depends really because I do keep up with a lot of like bodybuilding stuff. So for me, I want to be around 15, 12 to 15% body fat is ideal so I can build my muscle and my strength and be very receptive to food. Um, and that's the goal for now. We'll see how long it takes. Uh, Maybe like over a little over a year, a little bit longer. So we're like in the very early stages of this. But I've been yapping. I kind of went off of. I didn't even talk about diet soda. So I'll do it on the next video. I get very passionate sometimes when I talk about fitness and I get carried away. So if you guys enjoyed, consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, the day after for the beginning of week 7. I hope you enjoyed.